Hi everyone, welcome to Learn and Code. In the last class, we have seen the programs to implement special operators as well as the conditional operator. In today's class, we are going to discuss about control statements or control structures in C. So let us discuss control statements in C. C, control statements are also known as control structures. Control structures. Now, what do you mean by a control statement or control structure? Simply remember that this provides a way, or we can say an approach, provides a way or an approach which specifies the flow of control in the program, which specify the flow of control in the program. This is very important. Instead of saying flow of control, we can also use the logic, control logic. Okay. Now, how many types of flow control? Flow control, or you can say types of flow control. Now, under this, we have sequence, or we can say sequential flow control, and second one is selection flow control. Okay, and another one is iteration or iterative flow control. Now, under this sequence flow control, we didn't, we're not going to mention any type of control statements. There is no specific control statements for this sequence. Why? Why? Because whatever you write in the program, those instructions are executed line by line. Those, whatever you write in the program are executed line by line, sequentially. So when the program is executed line by line, no need of using any type of control statement. Now, if you want to execute only the selected statement, then go for the selection flow control. If you want to repeat the same kind of statements for execution, then go to iterative statements or iterative flow control. So now we are going to discuss the various control statements which comes under either selection flow control or iterative flow control. That we will see. Now, we are going to talk about the selection, or we can say selection flow control. So if anybody asks how many types of control statements are there? So the control statements basically divided into, first one is decision making, and branching statements. Okay, now second one is looping statements. Looping statements. Okay, decision making and branching statements comes under selection flow control. Looping statements comes under iteration or iterative flow control. Now we will see one by one. Now we are talking about the decision making and branching statements. Again, these are divided into conditional, and second one is unconditional. Right? Under conditional, we are using if statement, simple if, we call it as. Another one is if else, nested if else, else if ladder. Okay. Not only this, we also use switch statement. So these comes under, you can also use not only switch, you can also use conditional operator. We already discussed earlier, right? Conditional operator comes under control statements as well as operator. Now, under unconditional, we have the go to statement. After that, continue. And last one, we are talking about the break. We will see each and every statement with its syntax and also programming examples. Now, let us have a discussion on conditional statements, which comes under decision making and branching statements. Let us have a look of the if statement. So already we said that if is also known as simple if, right? Simple if. What is the syntax? We are talking about the syntax. Now just you write if is the keyword. You write in only lowercase. It is the reserved word or keyword. If and you mention the condition and don't put any semicolon. If you put semicolon, what happens? I will explain, right? If condition, then you write some statement, or you can write single statement or multiple statements, closing brace. So this is the body of if condition. How this if condition is evaluated or executed, let us see. Now, we are using this statement, if statement, in the main program or in the C program, which starts the execution from the main. Whenever it encounters the flow of control, encounters the if statement, it goes to this spot condition and it checks the condition. The condition is tested. If the condition becomes true, its internal logical value is 1. When the condition is true or its internal value is automatically 1, then it enters into the block of statements and it executes the statements one by one. Right? After executing these statements, as usually the control is passed to other statements which are under outside the if other statements. Now, what happens if the condition is false? Assume that the condition became false and its logical value is 0 internally. Then this block is not executed. That's all. And the remaining statement, that means other statements are executed as usually. So this is a simple if statement. So in the if statement syntax, just we are specifying what we have to do when the condition becomes true. But we are not specifying what we have to do when the condition becomes false. That is about the simple if statement. Now let us have a syntax of if else statement. Now simple, the syntax is like this. You write if, now condition, opening brace, and here you write some statement or s. In bracket I'm writing s by because to indicate more than one statement. Closing brace, and here I'm mentioning the else part. This is else part, ELC, right? Else part. Now here we are specifying again statements. Now, in this case, what happened? When the condition is true, then go to this block 1. When the condition is false, go to this block 2. And as usually, you execute the remaining statements, right? Now, when the condition is true, its value is 1, and these statements are executed, and these statements are not executed. When the condition is false, these statements are executed. Sorry, these statements are not executed, and these statements are executed. Now, if we put semicolon here, what happened? The flow of control will not enter into this block. Why? Because this semicolon stops the control. When the control is stopped here, then what is the use of writing these statements and these statements? Okay. So when you write semicolon every time, it is only within this condition looping. Okay. So this is about the if else statement syntax. So next, by using VS Code, we are going to execute C programs with the help of if and if else statement. After this, we will see the remaining control statements in C. Let us see C programs using if and if else. Now we will see C program using Visual Studio Code. which implements if statement and if else statement. So let us go to VS Code. Now you write program to implement simple if statement. Now we know that it starts with the hash include, right? stdio.h, right? Next int main opening brace, right? Now, so by using if statement, we are going to check whether a person is eligible for voting or not. What you have to do? Now for this, how to check whether a person is eligible for voting or not? By considering their age. So select a variable integer age, right? Now after that you write printf enter age of a person, and you write simply /n and put semicolon. You read age scanf percentage d double quotes close comma ampersand age. Right after reading this age, what you have to do? You have to check the age, right? Use if condition. If age greater than or equals to, we are using the operator greater than or equals to 18, then you say printf person is eligible, person is eligible for voting, right? So this is by using if condition, right? If you observe this, within this if block there is only one statement, one printf. Though we have one statement, we have written opening brace and closing brace, but these are not necessary. But as a beginner, better to write opening brace and closing brace, though we have single statement, no problem. Now, see here, when you specify if, okay, if age is greater than or equals to 18, you are saying that person is eligible for voting. What about the age if it is less than 18? We are not giving any, we are not mentioning any block here. So if you want to mention another block, you have to use another if statement. You say age, if age is less than 18, then what you have to do? You have to specify that printf person is not eligible for voting /n, right? Now, see here, for one condition greater than or equals to 18, we are using if. Another condition, age is less than 18, we are using another if. So here we are using two ifs. Instead of using two if statements, you can use the concept of if else, so that in place of the second if, you can mention else, right? So that is the advantage of if else statement. But here you have to, for two conditions, you have to mention two if conditions, right? This is the overhead of using if statement. Now let us save this program, whether we are getting the proper output or not. Now run it. So you see here at the bottom, you are getting the message that enter age of a person. Enter the age, for example, I'm giving 21. Person is eligible for voting, right? Now if I execute again, now here if you enter the age as 11 years, then it is saying the person is not eligible for voting. So this is a simple if statement to check whether a person is eligible for voting or not. Not only this, by using this if statement, you can also find out the largest of two numbers. That also we will see. So let us see the largest of two numbers using if statement, right? How to write that program. See, whenever you want to write the program, don't buttify the program, don't mug up the program. So feel free, and you have to write the program by knowing your logic. Don't blindly type the program. Okay. So what is the program we want to write? The largest of two numbers, right? Program to find the largest of two numbers, right? Using which control statement I'm using? Using F, right? Now, every program starts with hash include h2 diode. The execution starts from main and last statement. We know already in the previous classes I said that these are common things. Hash include into main and last statement return zero. These are the common things. I already said that after the opening brace inside the main, that is the place where you have to declare the variables. So whenever you want to use some variables to store the numbers, the first thing you have to do is you have to declare the variables and you have to specify the type of the variables. If you don't specify the type, you can't store the different type of values, right? So I said largest of two numbers, right? So I want to take only the integer numbers. So for that I'm writing integer number one, comma, I'm taking another number two, right? This is the declaration part. From where I want to read the numbers? Directly in the program? No. I want to read the numbers from the keyboard. So before reading the values from the keyboard, it should specify that enter any two numbers. For that, we are using printf. Printf is used to display any type of message. Enter any two numbers. Any two numbers slash n, right? Okay, it displays at the runtime, it displays the message. Then you have to read, right? Scanf percentage d, percentage d double quotes close, ampersand num1, comma, ampersand num2, right? Now, and okay, now we have read two numbers, integer numbers. Now, what you do after reading these two numbers, you have to check by if num1 is greater than or equals to num2, num1 is greater than or equals to num2, then you say printf largest number is percentage d slash n, and here you mention num1, number one. Okay. What about the remaining condition? If it is not greater than or equals to num2, again you have to mention if num1 is less than num2. Okay, now here you have to mention printf, or you do one thing. Just instead of typing again, just I'm copying the statement, and here I'm pasting it. But here you mention num2, number two. Okay, now after this, see here I have typed opening brace and closing brace. Just now I said no, these are not necessary. I can remove. Previously I have written this, but I'm not typing now. You can remove this. Why I'm removing? Why? Because after first if we have only one statement, opening brace and closing brace are not necessary, but previously I have written. But here no need of wasting the time. All right. Now control S. Now you run it whether we are getting the output or not. Now you see what it is asking. Enter any two numbers. For example, I'm giving first number 23 and second number is 76. Now it is saying that the largest number is 76. Right? If you execute another program, sorry, same program again, first I'm giving the number first 11, and I'm giving the number 2, then it is saying that the largest is 11. So this is a simple way of writing C programs using simple if. So in the next class, we will see some more programs using if else and other control statements. Okay, with this, I'm going to close the session. Thank you very much for watching.